With Fortnite Season 2 Mega just launching about over a week ago, we got new terrain galleries for the first time in like centuries. And today this is how you're gonna make Chapter 4 terrain in Fortnite Creative. Let's get right on with the video. Now it all starts off with these two new terrain pieces that are in the Chapter 4 terrain gallery. Yes, we're very limited with our things, but let's get right on with it. So, of course, like Shark Cliff terrain, you're going to want to put it on build level, but the way we're going to be doing cliffs and mountains is so much different, and your levels of elevation are going to be so much different. You could tell that this terrain piece has Z-fighting, so you're going to have to use the long strip one, not the flat one. Unfortunately, you can't use the flat one for the entire thing, but for POIs, I suggest using the flat one, because the Z-fighting won't really show. But this is honestly the best between the two. Now, you're just going to want to make an outline. Like, it's so simple. It's such a bigger piece than Shark Cliff terrain. The memory is drastically higher than Shark Cliff terrain. It's like an extra 2K memory. And if you already have some of the textures, let's say you have Chapter 4 rocks or something, it'll be a lot lower, which is really cool. I love the whole, like, new, how they do the memory and stuff. But yeah, be careful with memory with this terrain. It's very, like, memory cost worthy, but I feel like in the future, it's going to be so much better. Now, you're going to want to rotate it, and I'm stretching it out, so this is how we're going to be making some of our slopes. And you can see that I'm kind of lagging a bit, which is kind of bad while I was recording this. But yeah, so you're going to want to get this on build level. I'm not going to put this on build level in, in this actual video, since we're not actually in BR. And if you really want a nice open world experience, you don't have to put it on build level. You can make everything off grid. I don't suggest doing that though, trust me, do not do that. Now you could clearly tell that we actually changed some things. I put the slope more in the side of it, and I added the two of the long stretch pieces on the left and the right. So it's kind of like an indent inside of the terrain. You can see I'm trying to line it up. This is probably one of the harder parts about this terrain style, and you're gonna have to go on grid tab 0 and try and do this. It takes so much trial and error, but you're always going to have a line. I haven't seen someone pull off the perfect slope yet. If you do, please tell me, because I will be gladly learn how. Like, I really want to know how. But there's always going to be a line somewhere at this slope piece. You could copy this around the map. Now you could just see I'm working on it. It's not perfect, but it's like, it's actually cool. You get that fractured style. All the Chapter 4 terrain is supposed to be very cracky and stuff. This isn't the really fractured style that Jackus did in his tutorial, with the whole like bumps coming out of the ground and stuff. This is more of your casual BR. Like, I think this is the superior, unless you're going for a really fractured map. You could go with Jackus' style, but my style I feel like is the superior. I'm not gonna give myself like a whole lot of back, but like, it's just, I feel like it's such more cleaner. It blends in with Shark Cliff so good because it looks exactly the same, the terrain style with Shark Cliff. Not exactly, but it's very similar, very similar. You're gonna see later when I did the mountain, it's the same way how you do Shark Cliff mountains. Now, I do wish we had more options to this terrain piece. It's kind of boring that we have only one, but it's okay, you know, it's okay. We could use what we've learned in 1.0 to adapt to the things that we have, so I don't feel like this is a problem for many people. If it is, please tell me. I'm actually like, why it's a problem for you in general, like. But now at this time of this video, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'd truly appreciate it a lot. I'm almost at 1.1 thousand subscribers. I'd truly appreciate it a lot if we hit that before March 23rd, which is my birthday. So yeah, let's get to 1.1k before that date, guys. Come on. But yeah, so get back into the video. We're filling up this whole entire space that we've made an outline for with the terrain. You can see it reminds you a lot of the terrain. Now we're going to pull out the flat piece. This is how we're going to be making our mountains. We're going to resize the height all the way up. We're going to take the width and the depth and shrink it a bit. But the height is going to go all the way up, which is something that a lot of people I don't think I've ever thought of yet. but it's such a cool way to make mountains. And you're gonna see, oh yeah, Nico, come on, man, you don't just do that. No, I'm not only gonna do that. I'm doing the same process that we do with Shark Cliff. I'm turning that piece into a cliff. Now, I'm gonna cut to the part where how to actually do the detail into the cliff and stuff. So I'll see you guys then. As you can see, we actually added a couple of these resized pieces on the side. We tilted them a bit, just like how we do with Shark Cliff terrain. You're gonna see I'm trying to resize it. We don't want these little pointy parts coming out of the terrain. We don't want it all shifting. Now, actually, a really cool way to detail this and to add more of a rocky texture. You can see it kind of looks like Play-Doh, from what Dubbin always tells me. But if you use the side of the long piece and you resize it, it looks really good. Now, it's a lot of trial and error, especially with this piece to get the perfect detail. Now, it's really hard. Like, you're gonna get into some difficulties, especially if you want to do a slope. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a slope going up the mountain. It was probably the most painful thing that I've ever done, but you know, it's okay. Like it makes it look so much better. So you better, like, it's better to sacrifice the time than make it look absolutely terrible. You know what I mean? So just doing this makes it look so much better, and it gives more of the chapter 4 mountain style. Because the chapter 4 mountains, you could see that they look like modular, but they're not using modular. And we only have brown of this, so there's no brown modular that we can use to put into this. So this is our kind of modular that you would put into the Shark Cliff. This is kind of like our version of it. That's how I learned this style. I kind of based it off of my knowledge of Shark Cliff terrain. And if you want to make your own style, it's actually fairly easy, since these pieces have such a high variety. You could do really anything with them, especially with the help of nature. It can make it look so much better. Like, before and after pictures of with nature and without are absolutely crazy. So adding nature is so important when you're doing this terrain, especially like a lot of foliage. If you do a very kind of like a nice chapter 2 type of biome where it's not a lot of trees, I feel like it's gonna not make it look absolutely the greatest, but adding a lot of foliage is really good to do, in my opinion. Now you could see that Spidey, or Peter Parker, keeps on inviting me, which is pretty annoying. But still, yeah, let's get back. So, adding the rocks, we're adding more tilting pieces. It's all a process that you keep on doing. Resizing, placing, resizing, placing, resizing, placing, tilting. Like, it's all one thing. This terrain is so fun, in my opinion, than Shark Cliff. I don't know if it's just me, but I've gotten really bored of using Shark Cliff lately. So just making terrain with this is such a refresher. Just like with modular, I think this terrain has such a modular-esque feel to it when you're building with it. It doesn't look like modular, but when I'm building with it, I feel like I'm building with modular, which is a really good thing in my opinion, because building with modular is extremely fun. But yeah, it's like, you can see, it's so like easy and simple. It just takes some trial and error. Now, I'm gonna come back to you guys once I finish this. Now, we've actually finished the rocking, like adding the texture and stuff. Now we're gonna go into the chapter 4, it's the rock gallery, I'm pretty sure, yeah. You're just gonna find it recently added and get these rocks. They're not gonna cost 2k memories since you've already placed the terrain down. They're actually gonna cost significantly less. Adding this at the bottom of the mountain, oh my god, it's just it adds so much, like, it's so poppy. It just adds more texture, as I explained before. And you're gonna see, this is where we're gonna start doing the slope. This is probably the most annoying part of making mountains. If you really want to do this, you're gonna see throughout the video, I'm actually having a hard time pulling this off, since I just go back and I go back and I go, but like, just keep on going and going and going. It's actually really simple. You just go on girth stab 0 and you keep on tilting up and up and up and up until you finish to your point that you want to get to. And we're also gonna add the rocky texture to it, since it's kind of looks like Play-Doh too. We're basically gonna do the Shark Cliff process. We're gonna get the piece, we're gonna resize it, and then we're gonna tilt it. And if we want to make another level, we could do that too. Now I'm gonna see you guys once we finished adding the rocky texture to it. So now we just finished it. You're gonna see that the mountain is starting to actually shape up a lot. Now to add more of a level difference, we're actually gonna take again this long piece and we're gonna kind of do these little tiny levels. You could actually tell a lot of people used to do this back in the early days of the Fortnite mini VR community. A lot of people still do. Like X Empire and X Royal Ultimate, he does it with the shark cliff pieces, like really small ones. This is kind of like this. You're just gonna add them around the mountain, around the cliffs, just all around, just to add more variety and depth to the levels and everything. It just makes it look, honestly, 10 times better than it already was. You're gonna see later on that we're actually gonna be making a whole other level of terrain, which is gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna see you guys once we get there. And just like that, we finished the terrain. Now I really hope that this video has actually helped you guys. I have done a terrain video previously about at the beginning of chapter 4's release, and we didn't have much to offer since most of it was still from chapter 3. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it a lot. My sub goal is 1.1k by March 23rd, my birthday. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video.